Okay, here we're going to look at 3 cars built by one gentleman, Robert Phelps. This is a 66 Nova SS with a LS9 Supercharged engine transplanted into the engine bay, complete with the intercooler system and the oiling system. These are dry sump engines from the factory, and this car maintains that oiling system. In order to fit this engine and the intercooler and everything under the hood, he stretched the fenders and the hood by 6 inches. Absolutely flawless job. The car is painted Corvette Jetstream blue. That color was available for 3 years, and it's applied flawlessly on this car. This car is buffed and polished perfectly. Let's stand back and take a good look. That LS9 engine is right at home. Here's some of the other specs on the car. Just like it was out of a Corvette. Here's the fill tank for the intercooler. The oil tank is back there. Car still maintains air conditioning, has Hydro Boost brakes, power steering, smooth firewall, cowl hood, disc brakes all the way around. Car is locked. It actually has crocodile inserts on the seats. You know, the glare in this building through the windows doesn't do us any good. Deep dish wheel. Proper body lines. All the trim has been polished to be bright. Big exhaust out the back. Let's see if we get a look underneath. Custom handmade gas tank with a fuel filler mounted in the left quarter. Six-speed transmission. This car is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think that this video really does it much justice. Then we move on to a 66 Chevelle Pro Touring. Another LS9 that started life as a 6.2 liter as they were born from the factory. But this one has a C5R block, and this engine now displaces 427 cubic inches. So it's a 7 liter. The amount of work and craftsmanship that went into this build is incredible. The frame has been altered, front and rear. Suspension has been upgraded. Brakes have been upgraded. Got very large diameter drilled rotors. 6-piston calipers in the front. 4-piston calipers in the rear. Very deep dish wheel. Custom-made gas tank. Frame rails were tucked in the back for the rear suspension, so they had to make a custom gas tank. Still maintains 18 gallons, but they raised it up into the trunk floor. So actually, when you open the trunk of this car, the floor seems to be very high, and that's because the gas tank is there. Tremec 6-speed. Flawless paint and body work, flawless trim work, hand-painted pinstripes. Again, this video, white face gauges. This video is not going to do this car justice. Again, Hydro Boost brakes. Let's see if we can find the air cleaner. See if it's tucked up here in the fender. It is, but it's encased in its own housing. Here's the oil tank here in the corner. Again, a dry sump system where there's no big deep oil pan on these cars. Dual electric fans, aluminum radiator, intercooler sits up front. Same as on this car. Actually, you can see the intercooler sticking here in the front. Rack and pinion steering, coilovers, tubular control arms on this Nova, adjustable fuel pressure regulator with a gauge, hydraulic clutch. This car has the same setup, adjustable fuel pressure regulator back in the corner, hydraulic clutch. Hydraulic assist, hood hinges. The engine looks right at home. Let's sneak back here to the Nova and see what he did with the air cleaner here in the corner. Same thing, encased in its own housing. So in case you get stuck in the rain, you're not going to drench the air cleaner. Unbelievable 66 Chevelle. Now, moving on to a black piece of glass. 1970 Chevelle SS. This was originally a Code 75 cranberry red car, but a gentleman who owned it prior to Mr. Phelps wanted a black car, so they changed it from red to black. Took probably a solid week to wet sand, buff, and polish this car to the level that it's at now. Let's go back to this Chevelle so you can see some of the equipment that he lists. This is nothing compared to the work that actually went into this vehicle. I had the pleasure of speaking with Bob this morning, and he showed me a build book with a bunch of pictures, and again, just absolutely incredible. The workmanship, the thought process that went in for modifications. That car's got a drive absolutely unbelievable. So back to this 70 Chevelle, it has an LT4 transplant, 650 horse, 650 foot-pounds of torque. One of the first LT4 transplants that I've seen in a 1970 Chevelle SS. We'll look at some of the specs that he lists here. Oh, by the way, Mr. Phelps is 85 years old. And he's selling these three vehicles. Actually, he's selling this 40 Ford Deluxe Coupe with an LS swap as well. He's got a lot of things going on in the shop, and with his advanced age, he said he just needs to sell a few. I think he really just wants to make room for more projects. Guy's as sharp as a tack. I don't think his age has anything to do with it. This engine looks right at home. The computer to run this engine is in the trunk, up under the package tray. Let's see what he did with his air cleaner here. Again, hidden in the housing. Got his wiring proper. The attention to detail in this car. It's a little dusty. It's been sitting in the room all day, but I can't stress enough. The video doesn't do any justice to the paint on this car. Well, there you can see the reflection of the Ford. It's pretty much crystal clear. even for video. Stripes properly placed, properly masked and taped, no fuzzy edges in the corners, straight. Got a big tire in the back, doesn't stick out at all. So he's got a properly offset wheel, factory appearing exhaust. The insides and the underneath of these cars are painted just as meticulously as the outside. I'd really love to be able to take this car for a drive. New LT4 in an old school car, built properly. This thing's got to be an absolute blast to drive. It's pretty hard to beat a black Chevelle, but I'll tell you what, this Jetstream Blue Nova might take the cake. If I had to choose between the three, I think I would choose the Nova. Nothing wrong with that Chevelle or that Chevelle, but there's just something about this Jetstream Blue Nova. Again, the work, the craftsmanship. What I'd really like to do is take the 7-liter out of here, put it in there, have a few more horsepower, and really see what this thing can do. Three very, very nice examples. It'll be quite exciting to watch them go across the auction block on Saturday in the afternoon after lunch. We'll see how many people are there waving their hands, spending their money.
Muscle Car Appraisal thanks you for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like our video and hit the bell notification. And once again, we thank you for looking at our video. Have a great day.